Darth Bane was the first true student of the Sith rule of two. Although the honor of being the architect of the new Sith way of life was one that went to Lord Revan, Bane had perfected it and put it into effect, wiping out all of the Sith Empire save for one man, himself. When doing this though, and decreeing the law of the Sith rule of two, he knew that while this meant the survival of the Order, it also meant his own demise. As the now sole Dark Lord of the Sith, Bane rushed to find an apprentice, for he knew that if he were to perish, the Sith too would die along with him. On the planet of Ruusan, Bane discovered a young girl who had been recruited to fight in the Jedi's Army of Light. Witnessing the girl kill 2 Jedi Knights after they mistakenly killed her companion, Bane knew he had found his apprentice. This girl, named Zana, first followed the Dark Lord out of fear, but quickly learned to embrace her own dark side and the reality of the Sith. There are no Sith. There will never be, except for us. One master and one apprentice, one to embody the power and one to crave it. For a decade, Bane trained Zana as the two increased their knowledge in the dark side of the Force, with Bane learning from the teachings of the ancient Sith and the fallen Jedi Frieden Nad, and Zana learning from her master, but also becoming fascinated with Sith sorcery. As is the way of the Sith, only the strongest should rule and be allowed to survive, and as Bane had said before, I am Darth Bane, Dark Lord of the Sith, and I will survive at any cost. Together, Bane and Zana attempted to change the way the Sith would think in the coming generations, creating their own doctrine and heeding of patience and the power that the shadows possessed. Preaching that while not as glorious, a knife in the back was just as definitive as one through the belly. After establishing a complex network of spies, the Sith ventured across the galaxy in search of knowledge surrounding holocrons and their construction. Bane considered holocrons one of the most powerful weapons that the Sith Empire possessed, as he had years ago learned so much from the holocron of Darth Revan and desired to pass on his own teachings through them. In their search, the 2 Sith were eventually discovered by a group of Jedi, but successfully killed them, although at great price, as Bane became poisoned by his own armor as a result of one of the Jedi causing Bane's own Force lightning to rebound against him. Fearing losing her master prematurely, Zana rushed him to a healer, who refused to do his work unless Zana give herself and Bane to the Jedi, although disheartened, Zana eventually did agree. When Bane awoke, he was furious, even asking Zana to kill him, as he would rather die than be captured by the Jedi Order, but Zana had a plan. Showing her master what she had learned, she used her magic to drive the healer insane, so that when the Jedi did arrive, he attacked them and was deemed delusional. Witnessing his apprentice's cunning and ruthlessness both impressed and worried Bane, as he felt his power slipping and his apprentice growing stronger. Several more years passed, as Bane amassed both a substantial fortune, but also a plethora of Sith artifacts, as the experiences and knowledge of the Dark Lords before him is where Bane believed the true power lay. But not all was well according to Bane. Despite growing weaker, his apprentice Zana had failed to challenge him. This caused Bane to become enraged with his student, as he learned she desired to overthrow him when he had grown old and decrepit, not when his power was in full swing. Bane began to worry, as this went against the rule of 2, and the strongest surviving, as his apprentice would not prove stronger than him at his prime. Because of this fear, Bane delved deeper into the lore of the ancient Sith. Eventually, Bane discovered the teachings of the Sith Lord Darth Endedu, who had lived far longer than is common, even for a Dark Lord of the Sith. Fascinated, Bane acquired the location of Endedu's tomb and ventured there to seek all the knowledge he could. Although not easily by any stretch, Bane discovered and claimed the ancient Sith Lord's holocron, learning his secret of prolonging his life. This secret was the ability known as essence transfer, which caused one's soul to permanently possess another's body. Bane then planned to use the ability to take over the body of Zana, and continued the rule of 2 without his apprentice. Once returning home, however, Bane was attacked and captured. Although able to escape, Zana tracked Bane down. Learning of the intentions of her master, Zana attacked Bane. Although unarmed, impressively, Bane escaped yet again. Just prior to leaving, another Force-sensitive approached Bane, pledging herself to his teachings and explaining that the dark side had called to her after feeling the power of the Dark Lord. Presenting Bane with his lightsaber, he agreed to teach her, and the two departed, fleeing from Zana. After escaping, Bane granted this Force-sensitive the title of Darth Cognis, and taught her some of the basics of the Sith Order. However, Bane did not desire to truly commence with her training until Zana was dead. Determined to end the conflict between master and student as quickly as possible, Bane gave Zana his location and beckoned her to come to meet her fate. I have surpassed you, Bane. Now I am the master. Then prove it. Once Zana arrived, Bane requested Cognis stay back, as the intention of the rule of 2 was for the stronger to survive, and her intervention would disrupt that. Zana and Bane then engaged in a spectacular duel, as Crimson clashed against Crimson. Although skilled, Zana found herself outmatched, as the Dark Lord drove her backwards, step after step. Zana, sensing the end, entered Bane's mind using darkside sorcery as she attempted to drive him mad like many before him. However, Bane's will was too strong, as he forced Zana from his mind. Again proving his superiority with the blade, Bane disarmed Zana and raised his lightsaber to strike down his apprentice. But Zana had an ace Bane knew nothing of. Again using Sith sorcery, Zana summoned darkside tendrils, which attacked Bane. Sensing his body would soon die, Bane began the process of essence transfer. Bane's spirit suddenly clashed against Zana's as a game of will again commenced. Bane's spirit pushed as his body crumbled, and although powerful, Zana outlasted her master. As Zana's will held strong, Darth Bane was finally defeated. However, Zana then mysteriously discovered a twitch in her palm, just as her master had had as a result of his injuries, and for the rest of her life, Zana wondered if in some capacity Bane was alive, just waiting to again claim the title of Dark Lord. So that is how Darth Bane seemingly died, and why some people believed he actually didn't die on that day and lived on through Zana. So how do you feel about Darth Bane and Darth Zana and the Rule of Two overall? Are they some of your favorite or least favorite Sith Lords? Also, what do you think happened to Bane if he did indeed live on through Zana? If you enjoyed the video and feel it deserves it, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like, as it helps the channel and the video out a great deal. If you would like to ask questions and speak with me directly, you can follow me on Twitter at Stupendous Wave, or leave a comment, as I do read them all. If you have any video suggestions, you can always reach me the same ways, again in the comments or on Twitter. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing to ensure you stay up to date with everything Star Wars related, from news to lore explanations and theories. Thanks so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.